Each game as they play, they continue to get better. I thought, Hammonds was a stud tonight. Obviously we recruited him hard as well too, and he's just, he's a really good basketball player, and he really had a great game and was a big difference maker for him, especially in that first half. I thought a big possession was we were up 20-12 above a par, we just hit a three, and we were up 20-12 in the first half. And, when you make a three, you got to be in another sense of urgency not to give up a three on the other end. And they came down and hit a three. Khalid had his hands down on crump number 4, and the kid hit a three and went from 20-12 to 20-15. And then they kind of went on a little run, and we just got stuck offensively. We missed a lot of free throws. We ended up being 12 of 26 if you include the front end of the 1-and-1s, and that really bites you in the rear to do that. But I was proud of our guys. I mean, every game they've always have fought and competed and doesn't matter the score, they've always played hard to the very, very end. So I'm proud of our young man. We got a really good group of guys. We'll continue to get better. I've said it before. I really, really like this team, and I think we got a chance to have a really good season. Just like George, I think George is really good. But I really like our team. We got to get Jose healthy. That's a big thing for us, and we got to get a couple guys like a Moses Wright who need him to play the full 40 minutes, because when he can play like he did in the second half, he can put two halves together. That's a big bonus for us. So we'll keep getting back at it and improving and get back to work on Friday. And no time for the woe is me, because we got to get ready to play. We play a really good Arkansas team on Monday, and we'll need to play really well at home on Monday.
Did Alvarado aggravate ankle early in the second half?
Well, he's been out for over 2 weeks, and yesterday was the first day he practiced. He did a little practice, and he really wasn't good at practice yesterday. But he wanted to play, and he was cleared by the doctor, so it was more of a pain tolerance thing. So there was no risk of him injuring anything. It was just more of his own pain tolerance, and he wanted to play worse than anything. And he's our heart and soul. And so we started him, but he struggled out there, and he was really, he just wasn't himself. And then I just pulled him, didn't put him back in. It wasn't any re-aggravate. I just thought we were playing a lot of times 5-on-4, and that's not anything against Jose. It was very hard for him, defending at that speed, and he was just limping a lot.
How far away from 100% do you think he was tonight?
I thought, yesterday was his first day he practiced. I probably wouldn't have played him, but he was begging to play, and I was also, was reassured by medical that he was fine, so there was nothing there. And that we were all in the debate: do we play him, do we sit him? But we were just saying, he's done so much for us. We're gonna, he's cleared by the medical team. Even if he's limping, we're gonna give him a chance, and so. I think probably it's going to take another week or two for him to be fully where he's not limping as much, and we're just going to continue to be aggressively rehab it. We'll have to look and determine, do we just completely shut him down eventually? But I don't think we should do that. I just think hopefully by Saturday or Sunday he's better, and hopefully he's about 75-80% by Monday.
What about Devo's performance tonight? You guys, did you feel like you got really close there at the end? You could almost.
Yeah, Michael DeVoe played really well. I was really proud of his 10 rebounds, and he's gotten better. He's really improved. We work a lot on time and score situations, so we did a good job late game. But being 12 of 26, if you include the front of the 1-on-1, it's not going to win you the game. And when you're that close and you're coming down, you got to make free throws. And we missed a lot throughout the course of the game. But I was proud of Michael DeVoe, and he's continued to get better, and my assistant coaches have done a good job with his development. But he made some big threes, but I was most proud of that he had 10 total rebounds.
Josh, what did you see from Anthony Edwards when you were scouting this team? Obviously, you've seen a lot of one-and-dones come and go.
Yeah. When I saw Anthony in high school, I remember in Las Vegas when he was playing this the AAU team. In Las Vegas, I had seen him, and actually at that time I had said, this was in the summer prior to going to his senior year, that he could actually play in the NBA right then. Just his body, his athleticism, and part of that is not, most kids, young guys can be really athletic. The one thing he can do, there's two things that he can really do for for a kid at his age. He can shoot the ball. He's a good shooter. But then secondly, he's got great instincts defensively and just even passing, just instinctively. You know, so sometimes those guys in high school are really good, they're just great athletes. But he's a really good basketball player. So he's just, you know, he's a high talented young man.
You mentioned Hammond as a coach. What's your strategy when you see one player kind of start to run away and run this bullet?
Well, you know, kind of what Hammonds did to us the first half is what Moses did for us. What Hammonds did for them the first half is what Moses did for us the second half, and that was the difference. Is, you know, you get that cushion because of Hammonds, how he played in that first half. If we had Moses play like Moses Wright, number 5, if he had played like he did the second half, like the first half, that's the difference right there. And Hammonds is a really good player, and you know, he's just, you know, he's a talented young man, and he's a good player.
Josh, you get Hammond with 4 fouls there, and by that time I think you pulled within single digits. You had to think that this was your chance, and then that's when Edwards you did a pretty good job on it.
Yeah, we did a good job on Edwards. I thought that, I mean, he made some big plays late. He got us a couple on the back door where our guy fell asleep, but, you know, he's a pro. I mean, he's going to be one of the top 3 draft picks, so pros do that. And, but, you know, look, I think George is really good. Like I said, I think they continue to get better each game that they played this year, and, you know, they're a good basketball team, and Coach Green does a great job, and you know, he's one of the best coaches in the game.
You think you were up around 25-22, and then around that time, Hammond beat Moses on the dribble, and then the next time down, I think he beat him on a tip-in. What did you see? Like in that whole stretch, like the last time possession, I think he got 2 points, and it seemed like the game kind of flipped on. I'm just curious what you felt was going on.
Yeah, I thought, well, and that's a good point, Kim. I thought so my point on when we were up 2012, I thought that was a big stretch. We were up 2012 and we gave up a 3 on the way back. That's really, you know, when you hit a 3, to give up a 3 is just, you know, it's demoralizing. But the second part is that Hammonds went baseline and he took the ball from Moses on that tip-in, and that's, and to the young lady's point about Hammonds, you know, that's what he did. That was what Moses Wright was the second half. That's what Hammonds was the first half, and that was the difference in the game tonight. Was what Hammonds did the first half. I mean, that just set the tone for them. And then Moses was outstanding the second half, but it's just, we needed to beat both halves.
A couple more.
You didn't get much.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You didn't get much from James in terms. He had a couple great defensive plays early in the game, and then it seemed like he kind of disappeared for a large chunk of the game, both on the boards and offensively.
James has been really good for us. He had 6 blocks. We were trying to feed him the ball, and it just he was off today, unfortunately, and you know, but. And I think, you know, again, no excuse whatsoever, but we got to get back in our rhythm offensively. You know, we rely heavily on Jose. I think we've been out of rhythm a little bit, and we just got to get him back healthy and get back in rhythm so we get back in the flow of stuff.
Coach, I know that every game obviously is important, but can you talk about the importance of having to win these ones, being the in-state rivalry and all of that?
Yeah, look, I mean, first of all, it's my 11th year as a head coach, and every game I've coached, you know, I've wanted to win bad every single time we played. I mean, it doesn't matter who we're playing. So every game's important. But I understand the importance of this game for Georgia Tech, and you know, for we just the 2 schools, Georgia Tech and Georgia. And so I'm disappointed. I'm most disappointed myself that we haven't been able to get it done in this particular game through my time here at this point. And so. I know how much this game means to Georgia Tech, and you know, in our preparation, we prepare the same way for every single game. But I understand internally what this means for Georgia Tech. So, you know, nobody's punched more in the gut by not taking care of business for an in-state rivalry game more than the head coach, and that's me. And that, you know, we got to try to get it done, you know, as we continue to move forward, and we can't let this loss linger. We got to try to go get it done on Monday versus Arkansas.
You were down 16, I think, twice in the second half, and most of the time teams kind of give that up. Did you learn something about your team fighting back and making a game of it there at the end?
Well, you know, Kelly, in my 4 years here, there's one thing that our team has done very well, and our teams have always played hard and always have played hard to the end. They've always competed. There's one thing we've never gone to a game. And we might have been out-talented and just got our butts kicked because we just didn't have the talent. But guys played hard all the time. They've always played hard to the very end. always talk about competitive excellence, and our guys compete. And so, we fought back there and a couple things, but basketball's a game of runs, and this is a great learning opportunity for a guy like a Moses Wright, and to recognize, man, we need you both halves. And tonight I thought that was the biggest difference, was Hammond's had that first half, Moses had that second half, and that was kind of the difference.
Coach, what kind of effect?
Yeah, cut it off. Thank you.
Go ahead. Last one, Moose, or?
Yeah, last
Okay, go
one.
ahead. Yeah.
What kind of effect do you think that the result of games like this has on recruiting, especially specifically in-state?
I think Coach Crane had said this before too, and I agree. I mean, kids aren't looking at one game. I mean, that doesn't. When they're coming down to decision time, the kids are looking at all kinds of factors. Playing time, which is the most important. Kids want to have an opportunity. Do they get a play? Then there's, who's in, how many guards do you have? How many bigs do you have? How many forwards? So I think when kids are making decisions, especially in this day and age with everyone being on television, the parity amongst college basketball, you can be in the NBA from anywhere of any school. I mean, that's the number one thing kids look at in recruiting, is what they ask is a lot of times about playing time.